Poetic documentary is a style of filmmaking that aims to see the familiar in a fresh way and showcase large and abstract concepts. It's focused on creating a feeling rather than proving a point. This is the mode that Andrew Moore, a Canadian filmmaker, decided to approach his second short film documentary, Take Me to Prom, with. First introduced in the 1920s, poetic documentaries were classified by Bill Nichols as something that moves away from the objective reality of a given situation or people to grasp at an inner truth that can only be grasped by poetical manipulation. In a poetic documentary, the filmmaker will hold a high degree of control over visuals and sound, which becomes very evident very early in the film through the set design and editing. The film recounts the events of 7 elderly LGBTQ+ students' first prom in their earlier years. While telling their stories, some are dressed in traditional vintage prom dresses and surrounded by balloons and streamers. Andrew has constructed the interviews to flow smoothly and have artistic sound and expressive visuals that all tie into a prom aesthetic. In North America, prom is considered to be one of the biggest events in the school year and a rite of passage. It is something that almost every teenager looks forward to. This experience used to be far more different for LGBTQ+ students. There is lots to unpack in the content of the film, but the main one being subtly highlighting the social change that has taken place in the last few years for the queer community. While it is filmed in an interview style, the director has managed to compose the scenes in an intimate way, by having each person tell their stories in their own different way rather than to just sit and look at a camera and answer questions. This makes the audience feel connected to the emotion rather than the outcome of the story, a key component of poetic documentaries. There is a strong focus on the mood and tone of the film, which is highlighting the resilience of each person's story. Moore has managed to do this with the rhythmic editing and having the content of the stories told in a unique and uplifting manner. As each of the stories is being told, a montage of stereotypical prom home movies are played in black and white, and high school photos of the alumni are shown. This evokes a strong focus on the mood and tone of resilience and social change the film is highlighting through the content. Although Take Me to Prom is only Moore's second documentary, it is evident he aims to carry all his work with the same heartfelt and personal approach. His work is usually expressed in an observational mode, like in his first short, Babe, I Hate to Go, but with this short he decided to take more control and perfected how the film would look while maintaining the raw and natural storytelling he achieves from his subjects. The genuine approach that's been taken to the film has a lot to do with how Moore handled the stories that are being told. It was his first time, as well as the audiences, hearing them as they were told. The circumstances and dealings surrounding each story differ from each other, but the overall tenderness and resilience that Moore's style has always included connects the individuals together and is in turn able to reach the heartstrings of many different viewers. A main focus point when viewing the film is the set design. The backdrops have been perfectly crafted to look like vintage prom decorations. The only one that isn't is Marcy Rogers, who didn't actually attend her prom. The set designer for the film was Louis DeFilippi, who Andrew worked closely with to perfect the placement of streamers, balloons, and even where the group sat in the room. There are clear links between the style, content, and mode that Moore has subtly achieved through his unique approach to the film and attention to detail. It is established that, unlike his other modes, a poetic documentary is solely based on evoking a feeling, with avant-garde techniques and focused less on traditional structure. Moore's individual style of filmmaking comes across as very sincere, and the care for his subjects' stories is evident and illustrated in his final products. The content of the stories told in Take Me to Prom is overall tales of resilience, and although for some it was a hard time, they still tell their stories with love and tenderness, which is a reflection of Moore's individual style he brings to his films. The stories are told that are clearly not focused on the outcome of what happened, but more on what it was like to be a queer person at the time. And inform the viewers of how social change has increased over the years for the LGBTQ+ community. This is perfectly achieved through Moore's poetic approach to the documentary. From the set design to the costumes to the editing, he has managed to evoke a feeling through these aesthetics and create meaning. Ultimately, Andrew Moore received mass praise for his Take Me to Prom, with it winning at 3 different film festivals for Best short documentary, and a handful of nominations, once again helping it reach many different people and advocating for social change.